Hi. So we have talked about the ACE process briefly. So analyze, craft, and edit. This process I came across in a video lecture by Professor Alison Fredericks of University of Denver, where she was explaining effective written communication. And I think it's a good process which we can follow in our own course of developing our skills on writing business documents. So in the first stage, what we will be looking at, analyze the A part of the ACE process. In analyze, what we need to look for is what do our readers need to know that this document is trying to convey or will help convey. Here we need to focus on two new habits. Usually, when we start writing, we do not focus on the audience or who we are writing for. I think, as I've said in the previous video, it is important to understand who the audience for this document is. You cannot cater to every audience through a single document. You may need to write multiple documents to reach out to multiple audiences, if that be the case. Otherwise, if it is a single document, if it is written with an audience-centric lens, like very focused document, it will be really helpful. And two, usually we immediately as we have to write a document, we start writing. That is not helpful. What we are asking you to do is to change the writing process. If even before you write, before you hit the keyboard or you pick up the pen, you need to do a detailed research and analysis of the data. From this research and analysis, then you go to the stage to understand who the audience are and what you need to write for them. So that is a different process that we usually do not follow, but I found it to be really effective. The assumption here is before you start the A stage, the analyze stage, the analysis is about the audience. The analysis of the data and analysis of the issue has already been done. We have already done a thorough research into the issue. And now what this ACE process caters to is not the research into the issue, it caters to the writing process or the writing the actual document. Let's look at the first stage. Here we will be dealing with in detail the purpose of the document, how to identify that, the audience, the right facts for the document, and how do you organize document into full sentence outlines. So how do you identify the purpose of the document? As I suggest, it is not necessary. In fact, do not use a keyboard, do not use a laptop or a mobile. If you want to craft the purpose statement of the document, use pen and paper. It is really, really helpful. Second, the purpose of this stage is to craft 1 to 2 sentences, not more than that. Each purpose statement should not be more than 1 to 2 sentences long for any document that you're writing. How do you craft this purpose statement? The first is you analyze your purpose in terms of uh, whether you are trying to inform the audience, whether you are trying to describe something to them, persuade them, or is there any other purpose? Now, depending on the kind of document that you are writing, or depending on the kind of say position that you are in within the organization, this purpose will differ. And the same issue can be explained in different ways. If you're trying to inform people versus if you're trying to persuade them, the nature of the document that is written changes. So the desired outcome of the document needs to be kept in mind whenever you are trying to craft the purpose statement of this. What do you expect the audience to do with the information in the document that needs to be included in the purpose statement? So when you are crafting your purpose statement, what do you expect your audience to do with the information in the document? Whatever document you are creating for an audience. What should the audience be able to do with this information in hand? That should be included in the purpose statement, that 1 to 2 sentence purpose statement that you're crafting for the document. Now, for that, you need to identify your intended audience. Now, these two things, the writing of purpose statement and identification of your audience, this go hand in hand. One, who is the intended audience? Second, you need to understand if there is an audience, what is their existing knowledge about the topic. So basically, if you are writing for a layman, say about a phenomena of physics, it will be a very different kind of document because you cannot make assumption about what kind of understanding or existing knowledge they have. It may be a person who has not, who has an engineering degree, maybe reading the document, but there could be a person who has not even completed high school, maybe reading this document. So, what is the existing knowledge of the topic, and what is it that they need to know, which you will make this possible through this document to enable them to take effective decision without any confusion. So if you are explaining, say, if you're creating a video document or video analysis of some software or some new equipment, then if you're doing it for a layman versus if you are doing for tech geeks, the difference will be very clear in the way you write the document, or if you, in the way you record the video, the kind of features that you explain, the kind of terminology you use. So you need to identify your audience. Next, how do you craft the purpose statements? I highly recommend it you use pen and paper instead of typing it on laptop. It should be a single sentence. Ideally, it should be a single sentence, at max 2 sentences long. If it is a complex document, it should answer. It should be based on the purpose of the document, the audience for whom you are writing, what they already know, and what they need to know. So this gap that needs to be understood, what their existing level of knowledge and their intended level of knowledge, the gap needs to be covered by the document, and along with that, the action items. If this gap of knowledge is covered, then what should they do with the document? Say, if it is especially in context of business writing, you want people to take action on the basis of the information or document that you provide. What action do you want them to be enabled to take? For example, I've taken this example of OP Jindal Global University where I teach, and the class that I'm taking. So this document, let's read this without the blue part. This document explains to students of JGU how to submit their assignments on Moodle. Now, Moodle is a learning management system. Not everybody is aware of how to use it, and assignments for my course need to be submitted on Moodle. So if I create a document to help students understand how do you submit your assignment, so if it is a PDF with screenshots, etc. So this document explains, that's the purpose. It is explaining to whom? To students of JGU, who are the audience. And what should the audience need to know, or what do they need to know? How to submit their assignments on Moodle. So the audience needs to know the process of submitting assignment on Moodle. And after reading this document, they should be able to submit their assignment on Moodle without any glitches. That's what the document tries to explain. And this is an example of a purpose statement. Now, how do you select the relevant facts? Once you have a purpose statement, then you need to pick, you have already done the research before you started analyze phase. Now, from this whole pool of research and the facts and the data information, knowledge, whatever you may have, you cannot put everything into a single document. You need to pick and choose facts or pick and choose information that will serve the purpose for the audience, that will serve its stated purpose based on the 1 to 2 sentence statement that you have written. What is the purpose statement? How can you answer that question about the purpose statement with the help of these facts? These may further require, you may find that, okay, I've done some research, I've done a lot of research, but some assumptions need to be made, and for that extra information or extra research is required. And you can use mind mapping tools very effectively here to take care of mind mapping tools, as well as note taking applications like OneNote or Roam Research or Notion. You can use these to put together all your document and to give it a systematic approach. So what we have looked at till now is, what is the purpose of the book? Who is the audience? We have crafted a purpose statement for the document, and we have also selected the relevant facts that we need to put into the document. Now, what do? We have this pool of documents that probably we have put in, say, a mind map or in a document like say in Trello or in OneNote or anywhere. We have put all these facts together. Now we need to create sections. We need to organize the document, create an outline of the document, the full document that we require. And in this outline, we will write full sentences. Probably, I mean, highly preferable a handwritten outline so that you can make the arrows, see the connections. Is something missing? Do you want to shift something? Organize the document into full sentence handwritten outline, maybe a full page with 6 or 7 sentences, which are full sentences where you are writing. This will be the introduction where I will in introduction we will tell about this. Then in existing literature we will tell about this. That's how you create this full sentence outline. So this completes the analyze part of the ACE process, and that's where we stop. We will go to the next part, which is crafting, immediately after.